Township of Cohasset, regular monthly meeting, October 4th, 2016. Testing.
I'll call this meeting to order at 7:10 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the express times and started at satisfying the requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act. You can stand for your silent prayer and flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Approval of the minutes. We have to take these separate.
The mayor and, Councilman Babinski is absent, but they would both have to abstain from September 20th. Everybody's good for September 6th.
I have a motion for September 6th.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo,
I have to abstain because I'm not ready yet.
okay, Vangelli,
Yes.
and Kern.
I have a motion for the September 20th.
Okay, Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo,
Yes.
Vangelli,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, or abstain.
Right.
Fantastic. Okay, do I have a motion to pay the bills presented in proper form signed by the director of each department and approved by the majority of members listed on the bill list?
Okay, can I ask a question first? Lorraine, as a CFO, I made reservations for Councilwoman Van Loo's hotel accommodations for the league, and I was supposed to get the confirmation for the backup with the grand total. Their internet's been down. I still didn't get the invoice, but they want payment by October 7th. Can we add that motion in to approve that without the backup?
Absolutely, and then when you get it, just let me know.
Yeah, I hope by tomorrow, but I still didn't have it.
I'm going to tell the public that we have to do this normally, but usually on conference for the League of Municipalities Conference, but I can't do that until they send me November. So we're approving it, we'll pay it.
Balance, okay, but I don't need the total, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Is this for bills?
Yes.
Yes.
In general? Do I have to recuse myself?
No, I think
No.
next step.
No.
We're going to take your separately, I think, at the end, is that we want?
No, we're gonna do it, we're including it on this bill list.
What if we were all there?
Then I'll second it, yeah, we're all
Yeah,
done.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo,
Yes.
Vangelli,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes. Okay, is there any public comment pertaining to agenda items? Any public comment on any agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move on to the attorney's report.
I was actually in court today for Cohasset Township and a couple others, along with several other attorneys. It's over litigation. There was a request made by a public advocate to every township in Warren County for certain tax assessment records. Those records are not maintained here, but they're actually maintained with a contract with Vital. Vital advised everybody that the records weren't available in the precise format that was being requested, so we responded to that, to the requester, and he filed suit against Cohasset and every other municipality in Warren County, except for three, which all have the same assessors, and does his own thing, and was able to produce the record. So, we've been fooling around with this, and we just had a case management conference. Actually, we returned the order to show cause with Judge Saccone this morning. She reserved on the decision, and we basically asked that the motion be thrown out because he didn't really in any way respond or ask for clarification or anything else for the most part. So it may be dismissed as reserved. In the meantime, the attorney for Vital is going to get back to us and with a definite number for how much it would cost to reproduce the documents requested and the format requested. if it's not too expensive, obviously, it's far cheaper to, pay that nominal fee and continue the association, so that's where we are. It's another, one of these silly litigations, really, but we had to defend him because, our township and our clerk is, along with all the other clerks, what I guess. And it's not our assessor's fault, again, this is a software problem, like, not even a problem, it's just, he's asking for things in a specific format that we're being told we can't get him, so he did everything we were supposed to, he just has another litigious adversary. So I'll keep you apprised on that. I did speak with Susan Wolf today, because next week I have a series of conferences on the affordable housing litigation. All my townships that are under Beth McManus as a special master are moving towards possible settlements. So I spoke to Susan today about the proposals for the RFP for the school, but also about our fellow litigation. She says she heard nothing from Frank Picnish about, possible settlement conference. I've heard nothing from Frank. So he doesn't appear to be very urgent on getting this resolved. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, at this point, the numbers far too big to have a deal with. And I do understand that PAI is kind of back in the loop in front of the planning board. I guess that's speaking of Susan, they got extensions on all their existing approvals. Sounds like they may be coming in for a little bit scaled down solar project, and then coming in for some type of revised residential project. And she and I both agree that if they do that, they come and ask for something different, we will want to take a hard look at what they're giving us from an affordable housing standpoint to make sure we're getting everything we need to get. But
Kevin, didn't that preliminary approval have to go through the Highlands Council, didn't the Highlands?
no, they already have a Highlands consistency approval that.
Right, but that was for the prior application, what they were proposing.
Right, and all they've done is renew the prior application. They haven't asked for any change
Right,
yet.
if they change anything, they should have to
Yes.
go back for a.
Yeah.
The existing approvals, I think they're guaranteed by law to have because.
Right, I understand that, but when they started talking about downsizing the solar and then changing the
Yeah,
format of
any,
that.
we, Susan and I did speak, about anything they do will, in terms of revising what's currently approved, they would need a new Highlands consistency approval, which if it's a downsize, I would assume they would probably get.
Right.
If they want more units, on the other hand, because of a unit mix change or something, because there's always been some talk of maybe moving to apartment rentals or something, that would certainly need a close look by Highlands, and also frankly, at that point, probably, they have currently a site-specific wastewater management amendment from DEP. If they make any type of change to the development, they probably need to renew that as well. So any approval we gave them on a change to the plan would be contingent upon third-party approvals. So, but anyhow, that's kind of, that may tie into where we ended up with the COA thing. And of course, we did get an RFP circulated by the planner, which I don't know if you want to talk about tonight. It is out there. That would be an RFP to go out for the sale, basically, for nominal consideration of the school. With the idea that we would be getting a 100% affordable developer that would actually rebuild it, and then we get a pilot program of payment in lieu of taxation instead of tax, which could actually be a good thing. So it's kind of where we are with this thing there. I think it's on the agenda already, but I did do all of the changes to personnel policies and procedures. They were mandated. There's really nothing to discuss with you guys because they had to be done with exactly that ordinance. So I basically only did what they mandated us to change. And the only thing I did take out, I took out 2 sections because we now have ordinances. They were voluntary sections.
Right, and then I would like to speak to that.
Okay.
I would like at least a sentence to be put in for each one in the appropriate spot in the document to refer yeah.
No
So
problem.
that if somebody comes to that in the document, they say, oh, it's in that ordinance, and then they can go look it up.
Okay.
Otherwise, they may not have a
Would you
clue.
prefer that to be in the personnel policy, or as one that indicated now, I'm going to codify those basically into a 40 unit for everybody. Would you like me to put it in there so that they know it's in there?
It could be in both places.
Okay, no problem. No problem. That's about where we are going for last meetings.
Okay, great. Anyone have any other questions for Kevin?
Oh, I did do the ordinance, by the way. I just wanted to say one more thing. I think that, yes, Wanda was good enough to get that on for us tonight, but we talked about the resolution for the finance office.
Yes.
In looking at your ordinances, I actually had to revise your ordinances, which were needed revision anyway, because we referred to a treasurer as the head of the finance department, and obviously that should be Lorraine as the CFO. So I made that change, and I built in this, and Lorraine, I sent that to you, hopefully you had a chance to look at it. But it gives you, it's going to give you authority, you know, subject to the terms that you had suggested in your email to me. It also gives you guys the ability, if Lorraine thinks it's helpful, once she has, you know, kind of like okay, these 8, 10, 12 vouchers are something we definitely want very much, we can just incorporate that into a resolution. So it's also, that's also applied for. And we had to do that by ordinance because it was specifically addressed as the judge. That's it.
Anyone have any other questions for Kevin?
What was the towns that did the assessor that had their own?
David Gill was in Belvedere and 2 others, I'm not sure what the other 2 are, but he's kind of a,
He maintains his own records.
I mean, he has to subscribe to Vital on a weekly basis, but then he takes all Vital's formulas and creates all his own spreadsheets and everything, so he's very good.
He does it in his house.
Yeah, he's kind of like a computer genius. So he took Vital stuff and simply did it. But our argument was creating a new record, and once the vendor wants us to you know, wants to charge us for that, and it wasn't a crazy charge, it was like $50. Instead of, you know, further discussing it, they say, we'll sue everybody.
Well, they're clearly making a statement.
There's also a legal team on that, and they're probably trying to get legal teams. But I did get the impression that Judge Ciccone was a little enthused with him having gone about it this way. So, the fact that she deserves that is really more favorable to us than it's to him. But it's like a emphasis, it's not worth spending a bunch of money on it.
What was the just for, like, why made them?
Basically, the plaintiff is a gentleman named Sean Hopkins, and he's an assessor in, I think, Jefferson, in Sussex. Thank you. He's also trying to create a competitive company. He's basically trying to get
Yeah, he's trying to get proprietary,
That's the way to do it.
yeah, under the guise of
Because it
Oprah.
is a public record, you know, it's not, he didn't even say no, he said most of it, yes, you can get that. There was a small piece, mostly in maps, that he said, hey, we can't produce them in this electronic format, they can only PDF, but he wants to get it into his computer.
Gotcha.
That's what it's all about.
See, I had thought that.
It's not virtual.
I thought it was someone trying to push for a countywide assessment.
No.
Like, I thought they were trying to say, look how disjointed this is, and then,
That's interesting, okay.
there's always a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right, Dave?
The Environmental Commission met last night, for the first time, I believe, since,
I'll tell you when I saw the meeting minutes.
I want to say it was June or April, I'm doubtful when it was. We had the summer off, we finally had enough for quorum last night. Not a whole lot was discussed. Rennie did have something she wanted to talk to you about. Did you talk to Rennie about it or not? That's afterwards, okay. Other than that, there was discussion of the community garden. I guess the highlight from there was they grew 80 watermelons, Mary, or close to 80
I
watermelons?
don't know, there were.
A lot of watermelons. I guess they're really amazed at how fertile that patch is up there. Right. Other than that, actually, there was not a whole lot that came before the board last night. I saw you had a ride along with our police department, are you going to comment?
Yeah, I'll speak to that, yep.
Okay, other than that, I really don't have anything else, to discuss at this time.
Thank you, Dave. Mary?
I don't really have anything as far as administration is concerned. The Economic Development Advisory Commission hasn't really met, I think. We're kind of in flux ever since we lost our secretary. I think she might have been the force behind everybody.
Glue behind it?
Yeah, really. So And the other thing is that the historic house tour is October 15th. That's this month, and there are different places in the township where you can buy your ticket ahead of time, or you can buy it the day of it. I think it's 15 if you buy it ahead of time, I think, and 20 if you buy it before. And if you find out otherwise, please don't hold it against me.
You'll pick up the difference.
But it's a wonderful tour, and you get to go through some pretty cool houses and see part of our township's history. And that's it.
So?
We need numbers on the homes. You know, like 627, Route 23. We have to have to make it safer for the residents.
We say next tax bill, we're gonna send out our
Newsletter.
Well, no, a reminder with
Kevin, would you be able to write up like a little thing that refers to the right ordinance? Like just a little thing, like maybe like that maybe I'm thinking it could be on the police or the fire department's website, like help us help you. Just like a little, like, you know, place your house numbers in reflective 2 inches or whatever.
If he writes it, will you look at it so it doesn't sound like it's a nasty gram from a lawyer?
No, like just a little thing to post on, you know, like the police could put on Facebook or our website like that. Because Sal keeps mentioning this, he wanted me to call all the realtors, and I don't know how to.
No, I think we're on track. We don't want to, I mean, I don't think we want to be penalizing people, but we want to let them.
No, just in a friendly,
Well, even so, I have my mailbox labeled as the address. I still had emergency squad show up at my house, pound on the door. They were looking for 603, 627. I mean, do I need to put my route number on my box too, or not?
You're in a weird spot.
I know, I was just dumbfounded that, you know.
That was Peabody?
Yeah, Peabody. This was maybe 2 months ago. It was like around dinner time, and I heard the car pull up, and I go out, and it's the emergency squad, and they came to the door, and they're like, "Did you have a problem? Did you call 911?" And I said, "No," and I said, "Who are you looking for?" And they told me, and I said, "That's, you know, the next road down." But I don't know. It was 602, 627, and whoever it was.
you know, because if it's fire, you usually see flames. But if it's, unless you live alone, like if you need an emergency squad or the police, I'm always, you know, when I've had to call, I'm out there like waiting, like flagging it down.
Our house is 1,000 feet from the road.
Right, so you're not going to go down there and flag them down.
Walton made this really cool plexiglass thing that says Van Loo on it. It's attached to our mailbox.
I have my name on my mailbox too,
And
Mary.
wait, he's got a solar light that takes energy and it comes on
At night.
It's lit up.
Our ordinance doesn't go that far, so you're.
No.
Well, I'm behind the
No,
pole.
I'll help you guys check something.
The dam in Warren Glen is coming along. There's a lot of work there, I'll say. Tremendous amount of work. There's, to the fishermen, there's eels down there. They're like python snakes. They're that big.
Yeah, some people eat them. They're supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think they're people eat them.
The tower, I don't think the tower that we have in Wonderland is on Warren Palace property.
It's not on White House.
That's right. So check it out. We have to have that grass cut.
Joe Rossi sent out a violation and told him to mow today. So, okay?
Okay, once this dam gets built, we're gonna have one of the best fishing holes in the state of New Jersey.
Why not?
Let the people enjoy it. that the people enjoy. They do it. Traffic along 22, we better start preparing now for it, because that traffic is going to be worse, horrendous, and we better do something now.
You're a month behind, buddy. 2 months behind. We already sent stuff to the DOT. We said, you're not doing anything until we're informed. Us and LOPAT and Greenwich will all send out letters.
And you should put a copy of it in your mailbox.
I think we got it. Well,
I think it was,
We're not paying it.
yeah.
Okay, a letter to the state police, you know, about the traffic along Route 22. I don't know how these people are going to navigate this road. It's going to be really, really bad. So I want to make sure that's in black and white.
Okay.
I feel that the state police should watch Route 22.
Well, this is a DOT issue, it's not a police issue.
Okay, that's all I have for now.
A couple quick things, since I wasn't at the last meeting. First, the South mentioned, they did take out the dam at Warren Glen, and I had the opportunity to meet with the Secretary of the Interior, the Musconetcong Watershed Association facilitated a roundtable, and it was really neat that she actually ended up wanting to know what happened in Powhatan for the rest of the country, because we have the unique story of, I don't know, I know Sal was up here, and you as well, Kevin. When this was first proposed, people were very hostile towards the idea, and it was very contentious, and it was really a part of that Scott Berry and that organization of being informative and responsive to residents, and now we have the proof that I guess the biggest issue was the well water, and two, the flooding down there. I mean, the ball fields, yeah, that was the initial fines of those. That's the next one, right? So,
No, Hughesville's going now.
Hughesville's out.
And now,
Yeah, so they're going to use our kind of example for the rest of the country, because this is a problem throughout the United States where there's these dams that aren't really doing anything.
why, in our history, why did they create them? Because I remember there is a reason they were created, but it's no longer needed.
For the mills.
For the mills, yeah. So that was a really neat experience to have, and really there were a lot of state organizations that were there saying, like, this is an example of a community working well, and all these different agencies, between both the Obama administration and the Christie administration working together, and the teamwork between the two. Also, as David mentioned, I did on a couple weeks ago, I did a ride along with our police department, which is always a very eye-opening experience to see firsthand what our officers go through. I had the privilege of going around with one of our more senior officers and one of our newest officers. So it was, and both were incredibly professional. They did an outstanding job. It was, you learn a lot from being out there that we wouldn't normally hear about from the officers. One thing that was brought to my attention, I witnessed firsthand, is the radio issues in our township, which I've been talking to the chief about. We're in the process of reaching out to the county to have this rectified, but we have areas where when our officers, call for, backup, or they call to dispatch, there's no reception. So the officer has to assume worst case scenario and go out as backup. So it's a dangerous thing that they go through every day, and, seeing it firsthand is very eye-opening. Also, there was an ordinance, Kevin, that was brought to my attention. It was local ordinance 206-21A. Yeah, some proper actions, I guess. And we wanted to, I think, include 39-4-144.
Huh? What are these
I'll
numbers?
give them to you.
No, but they're not our ordinance numbers.
It's a local ordinance that refers to traffic.
Oh, in the code book they're
Yeah.
called that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And essentially what we have is a lot of our local ordinances are requiring traffic, or court appearances, and some of the officers are hesitant on writing the local ordinance because they don't want to make the people show up for court for such a minor infraction, and they'd rather write the local ordinance than the state violation, so that's something that we want to try to eliminate the court appearance, and make it, I guess, up to the discretion of the officer.
And does the chief approve this?
I mean, that one was it particular just for stop signs?
I think so. I think it was when they were leaving the Walmart, there's issues with.
No, I'm absolutely fine with that.
Give them, and then also, like we said, the e-ticket is something that I think we're exploring too. I mean, when you see our office, people, when they're writing violations and they're sitting on the side of the road and people are just whipping by them, while they're sitting there. There's laws now to protect them, but still, I mean, if we can have something that's out there that alleviates their job and does it quicker for them where they don't have to be in that position, we should explore it. So the chief has been kind of leading the point on that, and we'll probably have some information on potentially moving forward with that. As Kevin mentioned, we do have the RFP circulated. We can discuss that under your business for the Shimer School. We'll start that ball rolling, see if we can maybe get some interest on that. I've been kind of going off on this. It's I'm sure you've all heard about the gas tax that's being proposed. Tomorrow, they're having a special session vote. They're actually, I got an email probably about right before the meeting started that they're one vote short of getting it stopped in the Senate. So if you call them, there's one person out there you need to get it killed. So the people are definitely calling since it's all political parties that are, some are in favor and some are against. So phone calls do work, and they apparently are listening. So more to follow, but apparently it's going to take 2 weeks, 10 to 14 days after it's signed by the governor. So the latest this would be in the package. So it's going to happen if they do approve it tomorrow.
Our legislators are against it.
Our three are against it, yeah. Authority, DeMayo, and Peterson are all against it. But
And is there a list of those that they should hammer on?
I would strongly urge that you hit on the sponsors of the bill, which are Steve Warho and Paul Sarlo. But I believe they're not going to change their mind. I think the one they said to call is Tom Gordon, who I think is the 38th legislative district, so he's the, I guess he's the potential weak link. That might give him. And then also you'll see on our agenda tonight, there's a proclamation in support of the Domestic Abuse and Sexual Assault Crisis Center of Warren County, declaring October as National Domestic Violence Month. Well, actually, we have the honor and privilege to have a candlelight vigil with the organization on 10/26/16. This is Wednesday. That's going to be at 6:30. We do have a proclamation that I'll read, but that's invited to the public and members of council. I know our police are as well. So that'll be yeah, if you want to say anything.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Nickley. I'm the Community Advocate Manager at the Domestic Abuse and Sexual Assault Crisis Center. And I second
Yeah, yes.
Will be speaking at the events. And, you know, I think it's important for, honestly, everybody to show up, because domestic violence is not something that happens in just certain communities. I'm sure the chief can attest to that this happens in every community, including Cohasset. So, love to see everybody there. We also have a couple of other events. We have events normally at feedback night at Centenary University. Centenary University. Great, we have a fundraiser on October 20th. Which is at Violence and Problems. So I'm gonna leave information, for you guys for that. But I just, on behalf of our agency, I really want to say, you know, thank you to all of the clients that we serve and all the work we do. Wow, that's, we have to be here.
Thank you, and this is one of those things where, you know, you wish you didn't have to, we wish you didn't have to be here and talk about it, to shed light on it.
And, you know, we say all the time in our office, you know, it would be a great day if we didn't have this
Right,
job.
yeah, right, yeah.
Like, I would be thrilled. I'd find something else to do if I didn't have to do this job. So, any, you know, support at basis there.
Thank you very much. So, yeah, and that is on our website.
And that is on our website, too, so
Get that out
we'll
there.
get that out there.
And we'll have, like I said, I'll be there, and hopefully other members of the community. And we do have a contingency plan in case of bad weather in our building.
In our building.
Availability there.
Good there.
One more thing you'll see on the agenda as well. Thank Wanda for getting
that,
Wendy for getting the agenda out.
getting the agenda up last week with this, we trick or treat because Phillipsburg has trick or treat 5 to 8.
So we took
So
the
we
lead.
took the lead.
What was happening?
What was happening was a lot of communities were at different times to trick or treat, and what was happening is the kids were going.
They were going through
They were
all
going
the
through all
towns
the
and
towns
kind of ransacking, but now everybody's kind of on the same page.
So
we got out there.
So we got out there first this year, so we were able to kind of influence what the rest of
I'm
the.
not sure what
I'm not sure what Low-Pack
but we
Greenwich is
have
doing, but we have.
Route 22 kind of
Route
separated.
22 kind of separated us.
The ones that make it over,
The ones
they
that make it over, they deserve it.
Well, we'll move along to this proclamation. This is Township of Blackhawk in support of the Domestic Abuse and Sexual Assault Crisis Center of Warren County, declaring October as National Domestic Violence Month. Whereas in 1991, the New Jersey Legislature found and declared that domestic violence is a serious crime against society. And whereas in Warren County in 2014, 1,347 people were arrested as the result of an act of domestic violence. And whereas domestic violence affects people of all
ages, races, genders, income
sexual
levels,
identities.
sexual identities.
Whereas survivors of domestic violence must deal with the effects of physical injury, psychological damage, financial barriers, and trouble finding safe housing. And whereas everyone should be free from violence, and whereas no one should feel unsafe in their own home, and whereas domestic violence will not be eliminated without a concentrated effort amongst the community at large. And now, therefore, I, James Krim III, Mayor of Township of October 2016 as the Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Township of Cohasset, and urge residents to work together to raise awareness of this issue and support those who have been victims. Do I have a motion?
Does that need to be moved?
Does it need to be moved?
Yes.
Okay, I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Okay, Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo,
Yes.
Vangelli,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
I have a copy of that
I'll
too.
have a copy of that too.
Thank you.
Ingrid Gray.
Ingrid Gray.
She is one of our amazing.
That's right.
That's right, and I'm also, she has to take a break from us as well, I'm also heartbroken, because she is a phenomenal advocate for us.
Really is.
Really is.
She's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolutions.
Resolution. Can you take these together?
Mm-hmm.
I have a motion to
A
take.
motion to take these three resolutions together?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
I'd like to ask a question. So when you're making these changes, and then we're going to make the change, and we're going to add in the sentences,
Yeah, they're not mandatory anyway, so that's not a problem.
It's not a problem, so, okay. And if there were any other changes we needed to do?
I went through page by page, and every, the way it works, Mary, is that our Janelle publishes the sample demand, where the mandatory content, which if you want the discounted or reduced,
Insurance.
thresholds for your deductibles and things, you'll have an asterisk, you must adopt this one, you must.
Everything.
So everything, whether it's an asterisk that was mandatory, is now meets their standard.
Okay.
The ones that you want to revise, took out, and put back in that sentence, those are non-mandatory, so that's not going to affect our.
Okay, is that like, is this, really dumb question, but I ask it anyway. Is this the same employee, like our employee handbook where it has like
Employee handbook.
holidays, that kind of stuff, that's something separate?
The employee handbook is separate, but basically what the employee handbook is supposed to kind of slim down and summarize each of the provisions for the employee.
Yeah, the personnel policy has more detail, like for managers, supervisors, like the employment application, all that kind of
I'll
detail.
be updating that as well.
Yeah, my question is answered. Okay, do you need a second for that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'll second it.
Okay, Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo, Van Jelly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, one thing there I might add to all your benefits, by the way, I put it in my little email memo to you guys, but I know you guys have all been talking, Jim was talking quite a bit about a social media policy, it's in there. And that was one of the mandatory requirements, so that's in there.
Does that mean I can't go on Facebook and play the games here?
You just can't start to call yourself out because if you win, that you won't.
Yeah. There you go.
So, but that is in there.
So, but that is in there, it seems like a pretty good policy.
She wins.
I'll tell you, if I won some sort of big hunk of money, it'd go to a lot of different places.
All right, ordinance.
Ordinance.
They have an issue taking this together and they second reading on October
18.
I'll move them, both of them. 1613, which is providing funding for sewer flow meter and installation and appropriating $8,000 for such purpose. And 1614, which is amending chapter 4-35 of the code of the township of Cohasset entitled Division of Finance.
Second.
Okay, Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo,
Yes.
Van Jelly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
We go to public comment.
You got a motion here, don't forget that.
Oh, can't.
Yeah, well, before we even do the motion, I do have a question. I kept meaning to ask it, and I keep forgetting, I just remembered it again. We got a letter, and I do believe it's involved with the grant, that there are a number of years where we have not filed the final report or the report that's needed for it, and also, that some years it's not a full report, it's unfinished.
Oh,
That was incorrect.
that was incorrect. They were
That
wrong.
was the Clean Communities.
That was the Clean Communities grant. Donnie had submitted them correctly, and he came over to Wendy, they went back over it, and,
So we're all done.
yep,
We're okay.
They know.
Do they know?
Yeah, Wendy worked it out.
yeah, Wendy worked it out with them, yep.
Then I'm happy now. Okay, continue.
We looked at that motion, so we have to establish October 31st as trigger treat night, 6 to 8.
You need that note?
Mhm.
I will move it.
Second.
Okay, Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo,
Yes.
Van Jelly,
Yes.
Kern.
Monica, we send that over to the
Yeah,
school.
Wendy.
too, just-
Yeah, Wendy usually sends it over to the smoke signals.
The RFP.
The
What are the
RFP,
immediate?
what are the immediate next steps that we can do?
Been left with
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Blank spaces
Yeah.
in there. She can basically fill in the blanks there.
One of them was by way
One
of
of them was
example.
by way of example, who
Contact
should be the
person.
contact person for anybody interested in responding to that. Yeah, I suggested that should be her.
She's our planner.
Because she's our planner and she's the expert, she agreed.
You guys are-
If you guys are in favor of finalizing this and getting it out,
Really,
really, I think this is being paid
Housing
for
trust funds, I
Housing
think.
trust funds, I think she's told me, so we're okay in terms of,
paying for a
I
work
guess,
project.
paying for a work product today. and I think we could continue to do that in terms of finalizing this. So if you guys want to, me to just let them know, let's get it finalized. Final look at our next meeting. Technically, get these out and have responses available for you guys by December.
Yeah, I have a question, yeah, because I did read through it.
Yeah.
And for example, you were saying about responses being submitted to the clerk's office, so you're saying now they should be submitted to.
No, this year.
RP's something around one of the, there's another part that there's questions about the
Okay.
submission, and
All
that
right.
keeps your
And then the other thing is.
Inquiries about-
Inquiries
about,
Yeah, there's blanks, yeah, there's blanks where there are dates here, when things are due, and that kind of stuff.
And does she have
Does she
a,
have a full,
because I know the issue.
because I know the issue that was holding us up before was that there was no like floor plan, there was no.
She has a survey.
She has a survey from Gwen, which is helpful. One thing she didn't see, which Wanda, you might have a memory of this as well, but I remember at some point we got some type of environmental assessment of that building, because there was an asbestos issue or something where in the boiler rooms or something.
Yeah, I remember, Sam, when we were looking at the
Yeah.
building.
Do we have that somewhere? She thought that would be helpful.
I don't know if it was actually that, because he had concerns about asbestos and he could never find a floor plan either. And then he found something else that said that the alley up there isn't even called what everybody calls it, and
So we didn't have,
there may be, I'll look in the file.
if we have something like that, that would be an additional. The other thing I asked, and I think Meredith's thing I was curious about was, if you notice when you, we have not modified the zoning up there. So-
Right, that is still-
So, I said, I'm putting the cart before the horse by doing the RFP first, and she thought that it would be appropriate to do this RFP first, because whatever.
They have more
They have more ability to do.
Whatever we, yeah, they say they want to
They
do.
say they want to do, we could then tailor the wording.
To what they,
My other question is, that's the site also where we have our community garden. We had talked about taking part of that and keeping it as our community garden. Did she take, I didn't really see in here whether or not she took care of that area is protected.
Okay, I'll address that with
Okay,
her.
I'll address that with her. And that
Mary,
should be pretty easy, Mary, because what you could do, again, because we own it, and we're technically exempt from our own subdivision. You can subdivide that little piece out.
It's kind of out of the way.
It's kind of out of the way.
It's over on the side.
Yeah. So, if you guys are, keep that, we want to keep that. And we could also, probably also, the other thing that's a good point is, if we want to keep that, you should probably put somewhere in there, that we're gonna want some thought up, cross and easement for some parties.
That we can get there.
I'll make sure that we get this.
Okay.
Well, the other thing too
Well,
is that.
the other thing too is that
parking in the
there's
middle.
parking in the middle of,
Jersey?
New Jersey.
There's a parking
There's a
triangle.
Triangle.
Oh, that triangle?
That I don't know if this is associated with the property or not. I imagine it is, because that's where the teachers used to park.
I haven't seen the actual surveys, so it went directly from Gwen to Susan, but I'll.
Because if,
I don't know,
I don't know,
I don't know
I don't
what
know
parking,
what parking would be useful for people who live there.
that parking might be able to.
That parking might be able to supplement for,
But for the
That would be-
garden though,
that would be,
that's really too
Right,
far
you
to
wanna be-
right, you
carry
wanna
all
be-
kinds of stuff with you.
Because
you carry, you carry a lot of stuff. And if the water barrel, the big water barrel is full, then you're carting in your own water even. So, that's why to be able to park right there by where.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. So if you want to maybe, I don't
so
want
if you want to maybe, I don't want to improve it.
The other thing too, I just want you, Mary, that's other thing that might be, I think, give you some comfort as well. Even when they get the RFP, even when we change the zoning, they are still gonna have to come to for site plan approval. And that's another nice thing, you know, we can maybe get some parking signage up there so that there is some shared parking spaces for community gardens.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of cars there at the same time working the garden.
So, I mean, work on finishing this up and getting the blanks filled in.
And the signs did come in from the no trespassing or whatever, to be put on the school fence. I don't know. Jeff, I don't know, are they up yet, or are they still in the box?
Not yet, we still have.
Because, I really haven't seen kids there lately, but I guess the sooner they can get put up, the better.
So if you can
finalize that with
Susan.
Okay, Susan, and one I'll work with. I remember something out there about some investigation, but I don't know.
Now, if
Yeah,
there is,
we'll look into it.
Gwen was a master at keeping stuff like that, so she doesn't.
if there isn't one, or survey or whatever, can that be used for telephone?
What we mentioned as an alternative, or even if we do have sufficient data, we both thought it would be a good idea, and she had to build in a pre-RFP submission ability to go and actually physically look at the suburb. So.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Well, also, again, the other thing, this has nothing to do with you, but in terms of the interior of that building, as far as being kind of cleaned up inside, because right now it's a mess.
They've probably seen worse.
But there's papers on the floor and, let alone all dirt and everything. It's just, when you're trying to sell something, you want it to
I mean,
look half decent.
It's even possible, to be honest with you, Mary. I mean, I could see if, somebody being interested in that.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. I mean, because of all the water issues we had over the years and things, I think it's taken a pretty good hit, but maybe not.
That was built during the Depression, was it not? Project?
WPA project?
It might be.
Well, we can certainly save some cornerstones and stuff like that, if that were the case. Cupola. Okay, the cupola.
You should put the cupola on the municipal building.
All right, I'll work with Susan and see about it. We're talking about only like 60 days or so after we get access to mission. Yeah, we have, he did say, just so you guys know, there's only about 8 or 9 people within 100% affordable development.
So she probably works in a lot more anyway.
And that's aren't protected by anything.
Bats.
Well, no, seriously, because I mean, like, I've seen projects come to a halt because there was some animal that was.
Across the bridge.
Usually, right about that, you're right about that. The big thing in Morris County, where they found one of the biggest bat caves in the country. But geographical, like if it's a cave or something. I don't think bats in the Belfry. Bats in Belfry, bats in Belfry don't.
But you know what, actually, because I mean, they control the insect population, but that's okay, some people are afraid of them.
There you go. All right, are there any public comments? Any general public comments? No. Each their own.
I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, when, you all know where I live, like it's 519 at World. When we were flooded the one year, a lot of the roadways, when Johnny come in, rock, try to build it up a little bit. We're kind of losing the road there, and I really thought when they came 519, they would have done something with our road. I know Sal's had complaints from, not myself, but other people on that road, they rusted, because they're working in front of their home. I'm just afraid with winter coming, now are going to end up in that ditch. I know it's not a township, but you guys get more out of the county than I do when I call.
What's the name? Oh, but it's, okay.
Yeah, we were always the main. We were 519 before they put in the.
Do we want to send a letter? Could you send a letter to?
How about an email to Stan Schreck asking them?
Just kind of look at it, which when they did, they tried to build up the side with stuff. But there's some parts of the road that, because we have nothing left for the ditch, the road is actually starting to crumble. And I'm really afraid, because Rustic just gets toward the .7s, and somebody's going to end up in that. That's all the side.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he will, because he would have the same contacts Glenn does with the county and be familiar, yeah.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Russ Nichols, I live on Nellis Woods Road. I have a question for the council and maybe the attorney. We revised or re-interest in the EAI project. Do I understand it right now, had final approval at one time for a solar apartment?
It does continue to have preliminary and final site plan.
One time the land use was mentioned, residential portion, solar portion, and then something to the tune of 40 acres to be left over.
Yeah, there's all three of those.
Wondering what would be the status of that portion in the solar portion? Would that be,
Well, it's all privately owned, so it will all be on the tax roll.
you know, as what classification?
I don't, I mean, the assessment, I mean, I could certainly conceive what the open space is on Saturday Farm, might get farmed.
Isn't that have solar?
Solar.
Kevin, I don't think anything is going to happen.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna happen, I'm just saying, the way the approvals are now, you are correct, there is an open space part of solar parcel. Mayor's correct. The solar,
Open space portion included a big grass border. My concern is, if that project is approved, 40 acres is way too much to have a property if there's no management at all. I was wondering, if it's farm, managed, great. If it's just let to go natural, statement is made to let it return to the natural state. Day and age with the state pressure is not going to happen. 40 acres, I was wondering if we have any kind of an ordinance, or should we have an ordinance for a management program? Right now, we have a farmland assessment for farm. We have a woodland assessment for wood. So just a vacant property to be let go. I think 40 acres is going to turn into a big mess in no time at all, if it's left unmanaged.
Yeah, I mean,
That individual
able to
will
address
be able to
if the
address
applicant-
if the applicant comes before.
Yeah,
right?
we'd be able to discuss that with the applicant.
Before. Council would be able to impose some type of.
Yeah, well, the land use board.
well, the land use
Land use board would be able to, yep, exactly.
You understand my concern?
Yeah, because there's,
Unmanaged in the middle of it.
it's gonna be, it's gonna be invasive species.
Hardship on all the residents who are downstream flow, their invasive seeds and their woodlot and their grass and their garden. Seeds that produces, go all over the, there will be a drought.
Yeah, that whole project, if it were to come before the board.
I'm not mentioning it now, I don't know if we have an ordinance like that. One to address farmland, one to address woodlawn, a big unmanaged portion, 40 acres, I don't know what.
I mean, really, outside of brush grass and weeds, the jurisdiction comes in when somebody goes in to do development. So on that particular piece you're talking about, we would be able to hopefully impose some constraints if they come back in. But if you just have a farmer or property owner that has surplus 40 acres and they let it grow, get overgrown, Russian olives or whatever, I don't think there's much we can do about that.
If they're paying like residential tax.
Still private property, you're paying tax.
Well, with a property that size, I thought maybe we should think about having some kind of control over it. For the 2 or 3 acre lot, you know, that's one thing. 5 or 6 acres, I would do. They'll mow a 4 acre yard, plant everything. But there's no guarantee that 40 acres will be planted. I just want to bring it up so in case we need an ordinance.
Great, thank you. Any other public comment?
I have
Okay.
something.
We'll move for public comment.
What about the trees on Green Acres?
Nothing yet. We're gonna wait for Steve.
Oh, the guy come in, the,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're waiting for Steve to be here.
I also did, and it's not costing you guys anything, but Wanda was only able to locate a deed. And I'm double checking with my title searchers to actually see if there were any Green Acre restrictions placed on this particular piece, because if there wasn't, we may not have to seek that permission for this. So I am trying to get you guys a little additional information too, so by the time you get there, hopefully I'll have that information. Yeah. It may not be because the deed dates back to 1978. So that may.
You have, one more thing,
St. James Straw Church.
everyone gets that invitation?
Yes, that's October.
The 23rd.
The 23rd, they're having a
Rededication.
rededication of the
Straw Church.
Straw Church, because it appears on the National Registry.
It's also, they're getting money from the county. And actually, that reminds me, I thought of that. Sign. We're gonna put a sign
We're gonna
up by
put a
the
sign up by the church, welcome to Palacom sign, and I was gonna get quotes.
JHM,
From JHM.
not to exceed 5,000. I don't know how much, but that would be, what did we have in the budget?
What did we have in the budget, like 10, 12, I think you're looking at
Okay.
I was gonna say, originally, our signage that we do have, like the welcome to the sign, for example, was the Historic Preservation Commission that did
Yeah,
those
but I
signs.
don't think
Yeah,
we
but I
can,
don't think we can.
They don't have money in the
yeah, they
budget
have
for that?
very, I think it all goes to the secretary.
Is it gonna be the same type of
Yeah.
sign, Jim?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And aren't they on the national and state registry, right?
Yes, both, yes.
Right, okay.
Yep.
And maybe what we'll do is.
And then what we'll do is, I will get the info on that, or we can throw something on the website about that, that'd be nice.
If we make a motion.
If we make a motion to
Purchase sign out there.
purchase sign out there, see if I shall have
Well, 5,000 is a lot, but,
I like to have the flexibility.
I like to have the flexibility.
I'll second
Okay, wait, I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Mary.
And Councilman Slack, seconded Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo,
yes.
Vangelli.
Yes. Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right, we have.
Mhm.
Well, you want me to address it? You guys have some.
I put it in the minutes that included that,
Councilwoman-
and then I'll send you an email, okay?
Kern, my understanding is you guys had, at the request of some of our employees, or one or more of our employees, and we had a meeting, and some complaints have been raised. And I had suggested to Jim that since we have a labor attorney on the books, why not use them? It shouldn't be extraordinarily expensive, and last year, we did use them last year, and we have used them on occasion. So you want to make that motion to have Art Tebow investigate these particular complaints and issue a report. That does not mean an executive session, that's just taking action, and then of course, whatever he determines, we can review executive session. Okay.
I just moved it, Jim.
Second.
All right,
Motion to authorize Art Tebow to investigate and report back to the mayor and council on the employee complaints.
Okay. Slack,
Yes.
Van Loo, Vangelli,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes.
Motion. Any other business for the council? Sal's ready to go. Sal's leaving.
Start talking.
I'm leaving.
I'll remember after the meeting.
Go home and count the money.
No, I'm gonna be adjourned.
The motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.